Subnautica's planet 4546b is an underwater world teeming with strange alien creatures, from giant leviathans that see the world through their roar to serpents that pulse with bioelectricity. Yet, upon diving deeper into the biology of these organisms, you start to realize that these creatures' traits really don't make much sense. Darwin's theory of evolution basically explains how organisms that have the most helpful traits for their environment tend to be the ones who survive, allowing them to pass down their traits to their offspring. In contrast, organisms with not so helpful traits tend to die before they can reproduce. Yet, this doesn't seem to be the case on planet 4546b. It's almost like this world is from a video game where the player's enjoyment is prioritized over realism. How weird. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's start with the creature you're all probably thinking of right now. The Crashfish. For any of you who have somehow never encountered a Crashfish before, these little menaces are aggressive creatures that explode because why not? But I mean, besides annoying the player, there is no way that blowing itself up could ever be beneficial to its species' survival. In almost every case, explosive defense is extreme and often unnecessary. I mean, in nature, most organisms evolve to minimize harm to themselves while deterring predators, favoring non-lethal strategies. Another creature with a trait that doesn't seem to have much benefit is the Peeper, a small blue fish with giant bioluminescent eyes. And while their eyes make a really cool view at nighttime, this would be a huge disadvantage in real life. Their eyes are basically giant glowing beacons for any hungry predators nearby. They may as well be holding up a giant sign saying "come eat me." And their bioluminescent eyes don't even seem to have any benefit, so why do they even have them? What makes it even worse is that bioluminescence also requires a lot of energy, something they're probably going to need for running away, considering predators won't have any trouble finding them. Not the most helpful trait for a creature at the bottom of the food chain. Bladder fish are small creatures with pale purple bodies who have evolved to have translucent bladders on their top and bottom to allow them to float and maintain buoyancy. However, unlike other fish, they can't actually swim, but rather rely on expanding and contracting their bladders to propel themselves forward, making them easy targets for predators. On Earth, creatures that move around by floating, such as jellyfish, have deadly stinging cells to defend themselves, something the bladderfish is definitely lacking. This over-reliance on buoyancy without any means of active defense or evasion is probably not the greatest for not getting eaten for, again, a creature at the bottom of the food chain. Ampuls are huge serpentine creatures that radiate bioelectricity from prong-like structures. This bioelectricity is used to stun and incapacitate its prey. And while this may seem cool, it's actually highly impractical. Water is a great conductor, and so in water, electricity dissipates very quickly, dramatically reducing its effectiveness. This would especially be the case in an open ocean environment. This is why real-world creatures that use bioelectricity to attack, such as electric eels, live primarily in small pools and streams. Yet even then, electric eels still have to get very close to their prey to electrocute them. What's more, to produce such strong electric currents that you can physically see it radiating off its body, it would take an immense amount of energy, something that Ampul's diet likely couldn't support. Finally, sea treader leviathans are three-legged leviathan-class fauna that slowly walk across the ocean floor. Yet the issue with these creatures is the seismic disturbances they create. This continuous seismic activity would most likely result in the disruption of their habitat, making it less stable for resting and feeding, negatively impacting their ecosystem. On Earth, large animals like elephants do create minor seismic signals, but they are nowhere near the strength of those sea treader leviathans create, and are primarily used for communication. And there you have it, 5 creatures that couldn't exist in real life. Of course, this video only covers a few of Subnautica's creatures, and there are still tons of other creatures that make no sense. Yet we can't forget that Subnautica's primary purpose is to provide a fun experience for the player, not create a realistic game. But I think it's still fascinating to imagine these creatures on Earth, so if you'd like to see a part 2, let me know in the comments. Also, I know this is kinda cheesy to say, but it would really help me out if you subscribed, as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and so every subscriber really makes a difference. But that's it, so yeah, bye.